All right, let's go. This is my first video of me just showing up and doing daily videos. At least that's the intention for now. I've shot videos in the past, some heavily scripted, some freeform like this, but it's the first time for me just showing up, at least trying to be as myself as possible without any filtering, any pre-planning. Not to say any of that is bad, but it hasn't been the way I have been wanting to show up as myself. And I've been getting messages that my voice is needed out there. It needs to be heard from multiple sources, some from YouTube videos that have been encouraging me to try a style like this, because there have been some other people doing sort of like this freeform style, and I've been quite liking them and enjoying them. And a lot of them do frequent videos like daily. So I thought it would be interesting and inspirational for me and potentially for some others, as those other videos have been for me. And my name's Chang, by the way. I don't expect that much, that many people to be watching this video because it's the first time. And I've tried to launch a YouTube channel before and I know how it works. So uh, this is both a practice, easing into the mode of just showing up, talking into the video without having too much pre-planned agenda, although I'm always full of ideas of what I could be talking about. But more than anything, I want to be just showing up, going with the flow, because that's been something I've had trouble all my life doing, just going with the flow. Um, I'm told that my showing up as myself can be an inspiration for many people. I find that hard to believe, but it is what it is. And it's been such a long time that I've been holding back from showing up as myself, no matter what comes of it as result, as a result of me just being like this. Because, I guess it's somewhat hard to believe for people with natural talents like myself. I have many natural talents. I just don't know how to effectively channel it, if you will, and make it known and help people enjoy my natural gifts. And the way I'm told, it's can be a source of insecurity that you may have a natural talent that you've had all along, but it's been difficult to really understand the full extent of it in terms of how deep is it, how potentially impactful it can be, and how some of it may be just meant to be put out there without you worrying too much about how it will be received or how polished it is. and so on, and how valuable it is, because we tend to downplay what comes naturally to us. It's so easy. It comes so easy for us. It's also easy for us to, think it is not that big a deal. And only when other people recognize and you do your thing and they see you as something special. And when it comes naturally to you, it's hard to tell whether it's something worth noting. It's worth something for others or not. And we're all designed for each other. And it's obvious that we're not meant to be just on our own, all be separated and live like we're all meant to be going it all on, all alone. And me mispronouncing things is part of the things that I'm just practicing letting flow, because I know that uh, how I'm showing up in a video today is not the polished practice version of me months down the road, years down the road. But I know I was told and confirmed with my inner sense that speaking is something I need to be doing on a regular basis, and it's uh, tied to my life's work. And the problem I've had all my life is I knew I had something to contribute, and especially in terms of, I knew there has always been something that wanted to come out of me, come through me, okay, in terms of speech. But I didn't know what to talk about. And I'm no good at small talk. And I feel everything in life in such a deep way. I sometimes find it hard to just bring things up and talk about them without the proper setting. And so I've been invited in certain occasions, in certain groups, to talk about these, um, I don't know, deeper things. And some of it I enjoyed, I really enjoyed. But at the same time, because it was not my own group, I ended up mm, kicked out. Maybe that's not the right word, but I ended up having to leave that setting as someone who's just who shows up and talks. And sometimes it's because the creators or the managers of those groups thinking my rambling isn't really worth anything. But at the same time, looking back, I feel like some of it may have been because I was meant to be doing this, building my own community from the ground up. Although I'm not necessarily that possessive about people. You know, I there's a saying in my own native language, Korean language, you don't uh, block people from approaching you. You don't chase after people when they're leaving. So that's been kind of my philosophy. And because I really find it hard to be attached to certain things, although there are things that I obsess about. Uh, I'm generally an easygoing guy, and there's I think that's been the reason why I have been having some difficulty showing up just talking. But the reason why I'm doing this today, I'm starting this today because I'm not I don't find it that easy to be starting things. But it's been long overdue that I started doing this. And signs from everywhere, from people, from other random YouTube videos, not that random, but because they're all algorithm based, but YouTube videos that show up telling me to share your story, stop consuming, start creating. And some of this may be pertinent to you watching as well, but I'm for now mainly doing this for myself because what's in me needs an outlet that I found. I've been chasing after many things, and looking back, I could see that it was almost the purpose. The purpose was to run away from my real work or the real purpose. Okay, I was running away, distracting myself from actually having to face what I needed to do. And it's kind of nerve wracking that I'm shooting this first video. It's been all over the place, uh, more so than any other video that I've shot. But at the same time, I'm potentially the most relaxed, just sharing my own story, not having to screen myself, because that's a choice I'm consciously making in this kind of videos. I don't want to filter, I don't want to edit, I don't want to screen. I just want to be raw. And I've been compromising almost all my life in any kind of creation that I put out there. And it's a dilemma because when it does work well, I feel the pressure to be continuing on with the same style when it may not be necessarily the style that I enjoy. So long term, it could be a drain on my creative juice to be constantly trying to keep up with that one hit that I may have had, which actually did happen in the past because I have had a million view video back in 2020, I think. And it just blew out of nowhere. And my previous YouTube channel grew from, I don't know, a couple hundred subscribers to over 20K. And that was a surprise because I, didn't know what I had to say could reach that many people. Uh, and at the same time, it was sort of a curse. It has been because I have found myself mm, tied, almost shackled to the success of that one hit wonder. Because it was 5 years ago, I've changed, evolved a lot over the last 5 years. And looking back, it wasn't something I would have enjoyed doing long term, the style of the video, because it was essentially me summarizing some other well known person's article on something. It was on coronavirus and how it would uh, affect the world potentially. It was the early days, like March 2020. And speaking of which, what I wanted to avoid, I just realized that was that I didn't want to be known, well known for something that I was not. Somehow I knew the danger of and the drainage of my soul energy that may cause. It's what I feel observing the celebrities these days. A lot of them are just living a persona, not a real person that they are, and many of them don't even know who they really are outside of the projection that people put on them. So the people that make celebrities celebrities, they need them to be a certain way, and that's where the power, if you will, that celebrities enjoy come from. But I've always wanted to connect to the authentic power that comes from your authentic self, being able to show up as your authentic self and let it speak for itself. If that attracts other people, makes uplifts people, and makes people help remember their own true selves, then I'm all for it. But I guess I've had to mature in my own life through my own experiences to be able to come to this point and actually start doing that, showing up as myself without worrying too much about the consequences. Because, quite frankly, the worst thing that could come of it is not uh, necessarily no one watching that. And I've known that. I've tried, posting many YouTube videos that had little views. But what's actually worse than that is to be known for who you're not and having to live with that. And that is why, despite me having $1 million, not dollars, million view video, and as a result of that, raking in 20K subscribers, ever since I've been trying to replicate and build on that success, as some may say, but I just couldn't. I was um, out of ideas. I was, nothing I did really stuck on. And I think it was a lesson for me, from me, to confirm among many other episodes, many other experiences, many other happenings, that nothing really matters unless you show up as your authentic true self. And once you can do that, once you are mature enough to be able to show up as your true self, then you can deal with the consequences, no matter what they may be. So, yeah, I think this is a good point to wrap up my first video, and I'll see you in the next one.